Councillor Shay, you've got 8 minutes.
Acting Speaker, on that pronunciation, I want to keep you. Good evening, Acting Speaker, to the DA caucus, and everyone else in this chamber, however they choose to identify themselves through action and policy. Before I begin, let me inform the comrades in this House that this speech is being streamed to YouTube. And if I speak too fast, you can all go watch it at home at whatever speed you want to. Additionally,
Councillor Shay, kindly take your seat. There's a hand. Councillor Koko.
Thank you.
What are you rising on, Councillor Koko?
On point of order of what Councillor Sheikh, I don't know, Councillor Sheikh, what he said.
Proceed.
I just want to correct that, my figure. Me, I'm not his comrade, and I will never be his comrade. I never was, not now, forever, up until the end
Koko,
of this way.
seat,
I'm
please.
not your comrade.
Take your seat. Councillor Shay, please proceed. And
Thank you.
councillors, you know, we are really at the very end of a long day. Can we not raise our hands on frivolous issues at this point, please, unless it is really, really necessary? Thank you. Please proceed.
Thank you, Speaker. Additionally, in light of the interruptions into my last speech in Council, I request anyone who wants to frivolously interrupt this speech to keep as quiet as the MMC of Public Safety kept on Monday. Incompetence is often highly regarded in government circles. This statement is attributed to
Councillor
William...
Shay,
Yes.
please can you take your seat? There's another hand. And I'm a bit concerned because it seems like you are coming off as provocative, you know, and that is going to create a problem for us. Please, can you just take control of that? Councillor, proceed, please.
No, thank you, Speaker. I'm rising on a point of privilege here. The speaker on the podium, he needs to withdraw. He has no right to call us comrade because he doesn't understand that. So please, can you please withdraw that?
Sit down.
Councillor, I cannot accede to that request. Largely because we don't know who he was referring to when he was saying comrades. So I cannot, and we have a situation where there are councillors calling themselves amongst themselves comrades. And now if we tend to now want to limit the word comrade to a certain group, I don't think that can be proper. So I cannot accede to that request. Councillor Shay, please proceed.
Incompetence is often highly regarded in government circles. This statement is attributed to William Wallace of Braveheart fame. Whilst I'm 100% sure that no one could ever explain Wi-Fi to William Wallace, he wouldn't be the least bit surprised when he read this report and saw that administrative staff have failed spectacularly at implementing a Wi-Fi rollout. Because in 700 years, it's apparent that incompetence is still highly associated with government. I must share with this chamber a moment of spectacular unity in the Section 79 Finance Committee. When we queried the progress of the Wi-Fi rollout, and the official present, who recently transferred from MTC, now he's from GICT, he informed us without a hint of shame that there has been zero progress on the rollout. So naturally, the next question was, how do we change the situation? To which he replied, maybe get the two MMCs to come together and then we can find a way forward. We were all flabbergasted. Based on the response of this individual, we received an insight into his thinking. This individual was recently reinstated by council to an acting senior position, which earns him millions a year. But yet, he believes the onus of problem solving lies outside the realm of his responsibility. This culture, unfortunately, permeates the entire administration of the city. with few exceptions. The truth is that this attitude stems from a policy of the National Governing Party, a policy so vile and reprehensible that the Speaker of this chamber has banned the mere mentioning of its name. So from now on, we must simply refer to it as a policy that shall not be named. The policy that shall not be named has resulted in individuals being deployed to high-ranking positions in every department, in every sphere of government. The positions these individuals fill requires competence, problem-solving abilities, and most of all, a sense of responsibility. But alas, the individuals possess none of these qualities. As Orrin Woodward said, so succinctly puts it, the problem with incompetence is its inability to recognize itself. And it appears that this policy, the policy that shall not be named, shall continue to be implemented in this city, with the help of all the councillors on that side of the aisle. The MMC of GCSS even spent time defending the policy in council's last meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, I beseech you to study the names of the individuals of the latest round of recruitment of Section 56 managers very carefully to view this policy. This policy that shall not be named has brought our country, our province, and our city to its knees. The few good men and women remaining have their hands full just trying to avoid a total calamity. And so it's inevitable that things like this Wi-Fi rollout fall through the cracks. It's within this framework that the multi-party government had to function. And therefore, every achievement, no matter how minor or seemingly insignificant, has to be recognized for the gargantuan effort it's required. We have to congratulate Councillor Dr. Mpopolati for her massive contribution to the city as Executive Mayor. We have to thank Councillor Michaelson for keeping the lights on, the water flowing, and the rubbish collected. We have to show our appreciation for Councillor Belinda Echiazon-Joku for ensuring that development was allowed to continue in the city. And we have to praise Councillor Leah Knott for keeping the systems that run the city functional. And we have to behold the wonders that Councillor Judy Sotheby did to ensure the coffers of the city never dried up, despite the most overt sabotage. It is against the backdrop of a deeply troubled city that Councillor Sotheby wrestled the GICT department into achieving a 98% ICT uptime. Other achievements during this period include keeping the percentage spend of operating budget against the actual budget in range, and likewise with capital budget. Furthermore, during the period, GICT reported a 0% UIFW, which is no mean feat, as was getting a 67.85% reduction in internal audit findings against a quarterly target of 30%. Additionally, the department achieved 100% percentage implementation of strategic risk management action plan resolutions. In the finance department, the solvency ratio was within target. So was the capital as a percent of total operating expenditure. Net operating surplus margin was above target. All of these achievements can be attributed to the single-minded willpower of Councillor Judy Sotheby and her desire to see the city succeed. Now, just imagine how much more we could achieve if this city had a staff contingent who shared the same vision and competence as Councillor Sotheby and this DA caucus. The DA will always strive to see the city shine again and to hold those to account who fail to share the vision. We will continue to fight every day against the policy that shall not be named and the benefactors and deployees of this policy. We note this report. Thank you.